Hey, this is Kenny's Audiophile Record Reviews. Thank you very much for viewing my video. As always, please like and subscribe. I sincerely appreciate that. In this video, I'm going to review 3 jazz CDs. actually, I think it's 4. I think I went over by one. And I'm going to briefly go through these, but they're definitely fabulous performances on these CDs. So you should watch the entire video because some really stone cold, great jazz albums. Or CDs, I should say, that I'm going to present in this video. I'm going to start with this one, Sony Rollins Plus 4. It is a mono recording, and it was originally released in 1956, if I recall, on Prestige Records. This features Sonny Rollins tenor saxophone, Clifford Brown trumpet, Richie Powell piano, George Morrow bass, Max Roach drums. And this is a magnificent performance. Especially Clifford Brown on trumpet and Sonny Rollins saxophones. Those are the standouts on this fabulously performed album. Again, that was originally released in 1956. I believe this was an album, this album came out right before his famous Tenor Madness album, I believe. And like I said, check out the performances because the interplay and the play with Clifford Brown and Sonny Rollins is quite good, albeit it's in a mono sound space. Matter of fact, the mono on this one is a little bit narrower than some of the greater mono recordings, although in terms of recording, it was recorded quite well, at least in my opinion, in terms of jazz from that era. And these brothers were blowing, Clifford Brown and Sonny Rollins. Check this out if you have not heard this one. Very worth a listen. Oh, by the way, I should say, I don't play music on my channel because of copyright infringement issues. I don't want my video to be taken down. I don't want to take the risk. I get a lot of requests of people asking me to play music. I'm sorry for that. And it's a risk I'm not going to take. But these are available on YouTube. I always stress to my audience, it's good to listen to these before you consider buying them because your taste in jazz can differ from mine. The next one I'm going to review is Rudolph Johnson. Spring Rain is the name of the CD. Now this was issued on the Black Jazz label. One of my viewers asked me, do I have any albums from the Black Jazz label? And I said, yes, I have a few albums and a few CDs. This was reissued by Real Gone Music on their website. I think I got this last year in 2024. And this features Robert Johnson tenor. I think it's George Baines or Barnes piano. Should have my glasses for this. Reggie Johnson bass. Ray Pounds drums. God, the writing back there is small, but I need my glasses anyway. But anyway, this particular one is an underrated album, an underrated recording, in my opinion, in terms of mass appeal. I know original pressings for this album can be quite expensive on Discogs, but I got the CD from Real Gone Music, and it was really quite nice and worth the purchase. And he is tremendous. Rudolph Johnson on tenor saxophone all through this CD. I have nothing but praise for this particular CD where I'm giving the performance a 9 and the sound a 7. The sound could have been more detailed, more pristine, and more dialed in terms of the entire frequency spectrum, in terms of clarity and just overall stereo presence on a CD. Hopefully the LP sounds better, those of you who have it. But the performance is a solid 9 performance, in my opinion. The sound is a 7, like I said, because it's lacking in detail throughout the frequency spectrum. It could have been more, like I said, clear, more dialed in terms of the sound. The sound stage was okay. I think for the most part, it was in between the speakers, but did not advance outside of the speakers for the most part. I think Rudolph Johnson was around the center of the sound stage. And his soloing and playing is quite excellent. Rudolph Johnson, it's called Spring Rain, originally released on the Black Jazz label in 1971. And I bought mine from the Real Gone Music website. I think that's what it's called. I don't know if it's still available on that website, but if it is, something you should check out. But check it out on YouTube, see if you like the music. The next one is more of a jazz, contemporary jazz affair. This is by Terrence Blanchard, and the name of the CD is called Flow. Now, this type of music may not be for everybody in my listening audience, but this is a CD that I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm sure the song listing might come out too small. If it is, I apologize. But the only songs on this album that I did not care for is a song called Wadagabi, I think is how you pronounce it. Wadagabi. The intro and the third track I didn't care for. Every other track on here, every jazz / contemporary jazz, this, in my opinion, is worthy of a listen because Clarence Blanchard is playing quite well. This was produced by Herbie Hancock, and he appears on one track. I think it's called Benny's Tune is the name of the track, if I recall, that Herbie Hancock plays on. And also another great song in here is called Wondering Wonder. So if you want to hear this CD, I would start with with a track called Benny's Tune and Wondering Wonder on this greatly played Clarence Blanchard CD. This one I'll probably give the performance maybe an 8.5 and a sound of 8.5. It sounds pretty good. This was originally issued in 2005. Terrence Blanchard, Flow. Check that one out on YouTube or on the internet. Leave your comments in the comments section below. Another one is a CD. Actually, there's a hybrid because it has a SACD and CD layer, and it sounds quite magnificent. The name of this one is Herbie Hancock, Gershwin's World. I believe this was originally released in 1998, and he has a nice lot of guest performances on this CD. Joni Mitchell was on vocals on at least one track. Stevie Wonder was an arranger and I played harmonica. I don't know how, and it's probably on several tracks. Eddie Henderson played flugelhorn and trumpet. Chick Corea appears on I don't know how many tracks on piano. Wayne Shorter is on this CD as well. So it's a great talent pool performing on this magnificently performed effort by Herbie Hancock. And again, this has a CD and an SACD layer, and both of them sound great. They really, really do. And this is a highly recommended listen coming from me. I will give the performance a 9 and the sound a 9. It sounds pretty good because that CD, the soundstage is full and rich in detail. That's what I like about this, and the performances are quite good. Most of the songs on here are from, Ira and George Gershwin, most of them. And it's a CD, if you're not familiar with it, just check it out. See, leave your comments in the comment section below. Herbie Hancock, Gershwin's World, originally released in 1998. And again, this is a hybrid SACD with a CD layer. Also has a SACD surround sound. I bet you this sounds great on a SACD surround unit. My room in my previous residence used to be set up for 5.1 sound. I'm going to have to get my current room set up for that sometime in the future because something like this would sound fabulous on SACD surround sound. But those are my selections for this CD video. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. God bless, strong love. More important than music, let's keep the peace worldwide.